everyone, good morning. My name is Hebron Cho from J2C, and we J2C is a provider of high-fidelity iris recognition solutions. And as a startup, we are in the pre-sale stage, but we have supply contract to provide 150K single iris handheld iris recognition devices by 2021. And let me tell you about the problem we can solve. Every people and every industry's business have very sensitive intellectual property that must be protected. And if you are still using passwords, I should say it's not secure enough. So we need to find an alternative way for secure authentication beyond passwords. And according to Verizon, 81% of company data breaches are because of poor passwords. Then what are the requirements of secure authentication? First of all, it must have a high degree of accuracy, at least over 90% of accuracy. Secondly, it should have minimal to no authentication failure, and it must be very easy to use, also extremely secure. And J2C's iris recognition solution fulfill all the requirements that I just mentioned. For today, our single handheld iris is fully developed and is ready for production. Also, dual enrollment and access control devices are in developing. Also, the second line is showing our software. For today, we are supporting on-bib system, and we are developing multi-biometrics, long-distance iris recognition, and blockchain to protect our users' data. And this is the product we want to introduce to America. And it's called Alkai. And as you see in this picture, Alkai is connected to a laptop or a PC, and it will capture your iris images to verify your ID. And this is a comparison table. And you can see our competitors, Iritech, Taxino, and Mantra. And first of all, Alkai has the longest operation distance, 30 centimeters. So you don't need to contact our device or any extra equipment to your skin. So there's no risk of eye disease infection. Secondly, Alkai has the highest pixel and iris resolution for high accuracy. Also, Alkai supports USB 3. It means our data processing is faster than others. But Alkai is still considered the cheapest, even though it has the highest specification. Then how does it matter to you? This is the benefit you can gain from using our device. First of all, you'll get comfortable distance, high accuracy, and no extra equipment is needed, and fast recognition time. So our device can capture your iris image shorter than 1 second. Also, it's in compact size, and you can save your money. Our target market is government, financial, education, and critical infrastructures, where it needs top security and top accuracy for ID verification and authentication. And let me briefly talk about our core technology. Inside of Alkai, there are two key optical components. It's camera module and IR LED module that determine more than 70% of performance and price of the iris recognition device. And we internally developed the world's first 5 megapixel black and white camera module and IR LED module, which has 2 times stronger light intensity compared to Samsung's IR LED module. So these two components are our core technology. And let me introduce our management team members. And this is our CEO, Olive Kim. She's there. Hi. And she has over 18 years of experience in optical path and iris recognition. And she is holding 18 patents on iris recognition. Also, in America, we have 1 registered patent, and our plan is to register the rest of 17 patents after we establish our C corporation in America. Also, our CTO, Edward Jung, he is there. Hi. He awarded the Minister of National Defense Prize in Korea. Also, this is our market size. The global biometrics market will be $59 billion in 2025. And the iris recognition market will be $11 billion, and its hardware market will be $4.7 billion. And this is our product supply contract. As I mentioned in the first of my presentation, we have 4 contracts, and the total contracted amount is $11 million. And I want to briefly share a story about access control. Last year, we attended in a conference in United States, and there we met a Turkish company that provides biometric solutions and network security. And they really liked our device and technology, and they wanted to contact us, but unfortunately, they couldn't get our contact information. So they waited for a year, and finally this year, they found our name on the list of GTEX in Dubai. And from Turkey to Dubai, they flighted to meet us. And then finally they met us and they asked us to develop access control. And this is our 5-year revenue and profit model. Again, I want to announce that this graph is only reflecting our current supply contract. And in 2024, our sales will be $17 million. And our net profit will be $3.6 million. And today, we are looking for debt financing. We already got angel investments and government grant for R&D. So we have sufficient funds for R&D, but we are looking for money for production to fulfill our contract. So if we get $2 million, we want to use 70% for production, and 10% for operation, and 20% for marketing. That's the end of my talk, and thank you for listening. Do you have any questions?
Comments? We have about 5 minutes for that. Mike Paley?
Just plans thinking forward, kind of turning this into a more enterprise solution and an integrated solution, so built into a laptop. And is that in the tech roadmap at all?
Yes.
How would that, what's the timeline for that?
Do you mean timeline for?
To kind of demonstrate that capability as an integrated solution.
Integrate our device with computers and things?
Yeah, or other systems, yeah.
Oh, actually, for Alkai, it's fully developed. It's fully developed. So for this year, we already developed this, but we wanna integrate our device into mobile. That's our next step.
Okay.
Yes, and then the technology obstacle for that is we have to downsize the size of iris image, because our device can capture iris image with high resolution. Because it's so big, it's hard to upload and download through network. So that will be our next step for challenging. Yes?
Excellent product. In your time here, in your 2 weeks in Washington,
Yes.
What did you learn? What insights did you learn about your 3 different market segments that you're looking at? You said you're looking at government and financial and critical infrastructure. Did you learn anything to narrow down? Are one of those better than the others, or are you still pursuing all 3?
Our target market. First of all, what I learned from this program was the process of how to approach to government sector. And what I learned was, as a startup, it's very hard to do that, and it will be a long process, and even we will spend more time than Americans. So what we can do is we need to contact with prime contractor, and we can be subcontractor. And we need to, if we can establish our safe operation here as an American company, that would be even greater. But personally, I thought it will take a longer time than trying education or financial sector. So my personal opinion is we will try to enter to
Market.
commercial market. Sorry about my English. We want to try commercial market first, and then after establishing our references, then we can go slowly and we can try to enter the government section. And for critical infrastructures, I think that will be similar to going to government sector.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes?
I had a question on your sales numbers. Is your product to an end client, and what portion of the sales is sold directly to end client versus another manufacturer that might integrate your solution with their offering?
Okay, just to make sure, I wanna check whether I understood well or not. So 지금 하신 질문이 저희가 디렉트리 엔드유저한테 판매하는 것과 OEM으로 판매하는 것과 가격이 얼마큼 차이가 있는지.
You're asking how much percentage of going to the end user versus how much percentage is provided in OEM, not the price. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. 가격이 아니라 비율이요.
가격이 아니라
비율.
얼마나 파는지.
얼마 전체 매출의 몇 퍼센트가 엔드 유저로 가고 몇 퍼센트가 OEM 하는지.
Actually, again, this revenue and profit model was prepared based on our current supply contract, and our business model is B2B, so it's not B2C. So we don't sell to end user. We will supply our devices to other big biometric solution provider. So for now, we don't sell anything to customers directly. So yeah, in the future we will, if we became bigger, maybe we can directly sell our devices to customers. But for now, we don't think about selling our products to customers directly. Yes.
With that relationship being B2B, let's say I buy 1,000 of the devices. How tight is that integration with my use case of whatever I want to use it for? Like, do you all work with the company to like set up that integration? Is it easy to do already, or is there another like charge on top of that to integrate it between each other?
Do you mean partnership? Development
So
partnership?
do you need to customize
Yes.
certain solutions, and is there an additional cost for that customization?
Yes, actually what we did was last year we developed two optical components, what I just talked about, camera module and IR LED module. And archive and access control and dual element, we didn't know about that kind of devices, but our buyers came to us and they asked us to develop that specific devices for them. So our solution is we can provide personalized solutions with iris recognition technology. So definitely in the future, and for now, we can diversify our devices from our two key components. And usually we don't joint develop, and usually we just fully internally develop devices ourselves, and then we supply them to our buyers.
So how does it work? Is just stick into my laptop or computers to use it, or just how do I integrate it?
Let me show you. Can I demo?
Actual integration, yeah.
We have 1 more minute.
One more minute.
Yeah, you can do
Okay.
that. How can I use your device then?
Okay, because
Yeah,
my
yeah,
device
yeah.
is in the back. This is archive. And you can connect this to here. Yes, and because of the time limitation, I'm not going through anything, but you can connect this to laptop. Also, we will provide a software you can use. So with that software, you can take a picture of your iris images, and our software will tell you're authorized or not.
So
Did I
is
answer?
that your software downloadable from the web or internet services or? comes
Yes.
with the package.
Actually, it will comes with the package.
If you have any more questions, I'm sure J2C, Hebron, and other CEO of CTO, they will be available. So let's move on to the next speaker.
Thank